It's time once again to have a beer with your friends. I know it's been a while, but here's Corey and Carlisle. No?
Now, how long you been working on that?
Like 3 seconds.
Okay.
Live from the Spill Studios, located behind the liquor store off the I-35 interchange. It's time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey and Carlisle.
I didn't mind a jingle. That's something different.
I
Mix it up
literally
a
just
little bit.
came into my head, and I just started going with it.
Oh, it's fine. I like
Started
that.
off fine, but
I like
trailed
that.
at the end.
No, it was all right.
But we're back again. You're back from New York, and I'm back from a 3-week bender.
Bender on what? What the hell you been doing?
Dramamine and Pixie Sticks, I think. I can't recall.
What's wrong with you?
It was insane. I can't even explain it.
What do you, man? Do you? Before we get into to the heavy shit here,
The heavy shit.
do you remember homeless people selling those big straws of Pixie Sticks?
Oh, yeah.
On the side of the road.
Yeah.
What that trend had lasted for about 3 or 4 weeks. What was going on with that?
It was like, hey, here's something new and different that we can sell that's cheap and costs us 25 cents a straw, but we can sell for $1.
Well, first of all, where were they getting these Pixie Sticks? Like, were elves actually, like pixies, were they actually bringing in these sticks?
No,
Because
they were just buying them at the grocery store. You could buy them at the grocery store, and
so this is like a trend that spread with homeless people where they just went and start buying
it
Pixie
was
Sticks.
actually, it's kind of odd. I had a homeless guy who lived on the street corner near my apartment for a long time, and he for 6 months he just sat there panhandling, and all he did was panhandle on the corner. And then one day I drive past, and he's got roses, and he's selling roses. Now he's bought them from the H-E-B right across the street,
Of course, yeah.
but he's selling dollar roses for.
Like
For
$5 or
for
something,
$3-4 a piece, and he's just selling those all day. Then a few weeks later, he's got one of those little orange, bright "I'm a working here" kind of vests. The safety
gotcha.
vests, and he's still selling roses. A few weeks after that, he's wearing clean clothes. He's clean shaven, and he's selling roses. Eventually, he looks like any guy out the street. It's the same fucking guy, but he's cleaned up. He's wearing clothes. He's selling roses, and then one day he's just not there anymore.
Those roses were actually they were profitable.
They were profitable, and he completely turned himself around. I wouldn't be surprised if he got himself a job and an apartment and whatever.
He didn't turn himself around.
But he wasn't one of those guys who clearly was just off of who was dressing down to go and panhandle to make money and then going back home to their apartment. This is a guy who pulled himself off the streets and did it by selling.
Now, you sure
that.
he did that? Are you sure like the
Look, this
homeless
is just-
people didn't come in and destroy him or take away his homeless privileges because because he was looking too nice to be out there in the corner? Like, hey man, you ruining this for everybody.
I don't know why you got to be so pessimistic. That's the way it happened. It's a nice story. I like the
See,
story.
I like to think like one homeless guy said, "Man, I remember when you used to be real. I don't even remember when you used to be a real homeless, and now you're ruining this shit
but
for
see, that's
everybody."
like,
and like he
you
took
know,
a rock to his head and
So
destroyed
the Corey
him.
Coleman homeless guy. It's like, why can't you represent? Why you got to make a Green Day joke? Why can't you be real black?
Man, and the roses I can understand. Okay, I get that. I can even take it as far. It's a stretch for me, but I can even take it as far as roses got you off the street. But I remember the first time a homeless guy came up to my windows like, "I got these Pixie Sticks." Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with a Pixie Stick, man? I'm a grown man. I don't want that shit. If I go home and eat sugar right out the bag. I don't need no colored.
You should have brought
sticks.
the Pixie Stick home and sat in your room filled with all your Snoopy and Peanuts toys and talk about what a grown ass man you are. That's what you should have done.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't play with these toys. I just sit back and admire them. It's a shrine to Charles Schulz,
which
man.
is the adult in you, I'm sure.
You don't understand.
I
That's my
fully
tribute.
understand.
That's not playtime shit. That's my tribute to Charles Schulz, one of the greatest geniuses in the world. Charles Schulz had lived just a little bit longer. He would have solved all the world's problems.
He would have. We would have seen, about 20 more strips with Lucy holding a football and pulling it up before Charlie, Brown tried to kick it and fell on his ass.
Never gets old.
That never got old.
Never gets old.
Never got old.
The world just went to shit when Charles Schulz died. Anyway, Charles Schulz was I'm reading that book.
Oh, you reading that book I talked about?
Charles Schulz was a disturbed motherfucker.
He was
man.
a bastard, apparently.
Well, he was just weird. That son of a bitch, he held grudges up until the day he died. They said.
That's like you.
Oh, no, I'm done with that. I'm finished. My grudges are gone, man. No more throwing chairs for me.
You say that.
Man, look, go on. I'm about
You
to
say that, Bobby
I'm
Knight.
about to throw a table at you right
That's
now.
right, you are.
Let's go ahead and get into the top 5 right now.
And now it's time for the top 5, brought to you by Spill.
Were you Cookie Monster all of a sudden?
That was a Cookie Monster.
That was Cookie Monster.
That was not Cookie
Here
Monster.
comes your top 5.
See that now that's Yoda is what that is.
We're all done with the
I'll
same guy.
get you, Gadget, next time.
Oh,
Next time.
Damn, that's pretty good, man.
It's my Dr. Claw.
I want people to now before we get into the top 5 mentioning Cookie Monster, I want people to go to YouTube and look up something and tell me if you because it cracks me up. Maybe and I think I'm the only one who thinks this is funny.
It probably is.
It probably, but I want to get other people's opinions, and I know people gonna come up and tell me, yeah, you don't want to think this is funny, but it's Cookie Monster rapping to Jay-Z's 99 Problems, and I don't. It's the silliest video I've ever seen. These guys were having a good time making it, and for some reason, it cracked me up. I won't say any more about that. Just people look for
99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
No,
99 problems, but a cookie at one. Hit me!
Oh, is it actually they did the voice and
it's
everything?
a dude in a big Cookie Monster costume, and the video is filmed like in black and white, like JC's video. Man, I think it's funny. People, look for it. I don't care if you tell me I'm full of shit. It ain't gonna change me laughing at
You
it. But
are full of shit.
Hey, I'll still love it. Anyway, we're gonna go into this top 5, man. What are we starting with?
We're starting with number 5.
Oh, here we go, man. Paul Blart.
Paul Blart's still hanging in there with what, $11 million?
Pretty much, yeah.
Fuck Paul Blart.
$10.9 million.
Fuck
yeah.
Paul Blart.
$96.9 million, man. Paul Blart's gonna leave. He's gonna make out like a bandit. He's leaving the scene with $100 million.
Now you know the thing. You know the thing that makes me happy.
What's that?
It's not making as much money as fucking God. What was the fat suit movie that we were talking
Norbit?
about? Norbit. Yeah, it's not making as much as Norbit.
No, it's not. But this has nowhere near the budget of Norbit either.
Has nothing to do with how many people you get into the theater has nothing to do. It's the same fucking movie, except he doesn't need a fat
They
suit.
brought in Rick Baker to do fat suit effects. I mean, what's his name? What's his name in this movie? Who's Paul Blart? The actor brought in his own fat suit, man.
Yeah, he had his own fat suit.
Yeah, exactly. That's like 50% of the 50% of the
Point
budget
is,
right
the
there.
same people that love Norbit love this movie. It's so funny when he puts the peanut butter on the pie and it fills the cracks of his heart. That's funny.
Man, that's the come on now. You know those people gonna be around all.
They
forever.
are, and
You
that
know
doesn't stop me from making fun of them.
Sorry, y'all. I'm drinking. You act like this is a surprise. You act like this is something new. How dare these people like Paul Blart?
No, not at all. I'm just saying I'm glad it's not making as much money as Norbit did.
But see, what I'm telling you is that it doesn't need to. It's
No.
made profit. It's
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not doubting that. I mean, nobody ever went broke underestimating the intelligence of American consumers. It just doesn't happen. It's a dumb fucking movie, and we're still talking about it. But hopefully by next week, we won't be talking about it anymore. So there's a number of big releases coming out this week. So let's move on to number 4.
Speaking of dumb movies, the Pink Panther 2.
Which debuted at number 4, which
Yeah,
is kind of a big. The last one, I think, debuted at number 1,
It
and
did,
they
yeah,
expected
it was
this to
number
be
1.
the big weekend thing, and
They had me too. Not that I wanted it to happen, but I thought it was going to be number 1. It ended up like making $11 million, man, $11.6 million. That's a far drop from what it made the first time.
almost as much as Paul Blart did.
But Paul Blart is making that money, man.
Yeah,
Paul Blart, they
but
gonna make
this one's not gonna.
Paul Blart.
People
Paul
are all
Blart
dumbed
will
out.
return.
Yeah, which brings us to the number 3 movie of the week.
Coraline. Your little girlfriend Coraline. $16.8 million, man.
Really? Oh, the list I saw had jumbled. I guess this has been readjusted. So Coraline made 3. That's good, made number 3. That's kind of cool. And how much did it make?
Well, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's not great. It's not bad. It's $16.8 million. So it's not crazy business.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a hard sell, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's something that you really, you have to see for yourself because it's gorgeous.
Somebody told me that they saw it. So far, everything I've heard about the movie has been positive. Mm-hmm. The only one that doesn't like it is Cyrus, because Cyrus likes bullshit fantasy films, And somebody told me, though, they said, man, if I had been a kid, this would have scared the shit out of me. I mean, I think that's kind of what's pulling back on this movie,
Yeah.
man. It's like a lot of kids, I mean, they're like, Coraline, hell no, I don't want to see that shit. That shit looks scary, man. So go ahead to number 2.
Number 2.
Taken.
Taken, yes.
Taken has so far made $53.6 million, pulled in $20.5 million this weekend.
I love me some Taken.
Yeah, shit. Liam Neeson just whooping ass, man.
Dude, and whooping ass in a classic way. This movie was like a '60s noir film. You know, the old kind of stuff that Michael Caine used to make in the late '60s, and it's really badass.
What's it called? Like Get Carter or something?
Get Carter and fuck. Now I'm gonna blank on all the titles.
I mean, you name any revenge film that's straightforward. This is it. Except Liam Neeson is. He's very svelte, one of the most cool guys. I mean, he ain't mad about shit. He just says, "Don't fuck with my daughter."
I disagree with you. I don't think any revenge film, because most revenge films really want us to identify with the main character, and they want us to believe that they're a very good guy put in a bad situation. What's great about this is Liam Neeson's a very bad guy put in exactly the situation that he should not be in, as far as the criminals are concerned.
See,
he was the very wrong guy to fuck with.
Yeah, no, but what I mean is like, well, first of all, the whole revenge thing in this day and age, we like our everything darker. We had our superheroes darker. With Coraline, we got animated movies darker. Now we got the darker revenge story where the guy, they make you question, well, to what extent should you really go? But in this movie, I don't think you need to question that because, like I said, Liam Neeson, he never gets mad in this movie. Never. He just says, look, don't fuck with me and don't fuck with my relatives.
And if you fuck with me, I'm going to fucking shoot your ass. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm not going to torture you. I'm just going to put a bullet in your ass, and I'm going to move along to the next guy to put a bullet in his ass.
Well, he'll torture you to get some answers, and then he'll put a bullet in your ass.
He tortures one person, and that's it. Because what I'm referring to is those other movies where it's, you know, they like make them suffer a bit before they kill them. They have to beat the shit out of them before they finally get to pull the bullet in. This movie, he's just like, bye.
Well, yeah, no, and that's what I like about it. Yeah,
bye.
Yeah, because most people would be like, you motherfucker, I'm coming to get you. And Liam Neeson's like, nah, man, I'm cool because I know I'm going to get you.
Yeah, it's just that simple. I am smarter and better at this than you are.
He said, I know
I
what's
am
about
the Jason Voorhees of this fucking woods, bitch.
You're dead and you just don't know this yet. And I'm giving you a chance to avoid that.
That's right.
So anyway, yeah, Liam Neeson's a cool motherfucker.
Which brings us to the #1 film of the week.
Man, this movie made a lot of money, and I didn't know anything about this movie. They didn't have a screening for us. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I did momentarily.
He's just not that into you.
Yeah, he's just not that into you. I actually really wanted to go see this weekend, and things didn't go that way. Here's the thing that really told me that this was going to be a hit film, because I didn't know if it was going to be or not. I show up to see Push, which did not make the top 5 this week.
that debuted at number 6.
Yeah. So I show up, and there's a line at fucking 11:45 at night, and I'm like, oh, fuck this. This theater's going to be packed with fucking morons. I'm going to have to listen to them chomp their popcorn and just chitter back and forth with one another while I'm trying to watch a fucking superhero movie. And I walk up, and I go, oh, are all these people here for Push? And the person's like, no, there's a decent amount of people here for Push, but all these girls are here to see. He's just not that into you.
Why do people want to see? Well, first of all, I thought it was because of the star power. I mean, you got Scarlett Johansson, Drew Barrymore, Jennifer Aniston. I mean, I should have known that this movie would be #1 just based on those three alone.
There's also none of those women have ever carried a film on this level,
and not on their own, but together.
But can you think of another chick flick that's come out that's been halfway decent?
Well, I don't even know if this is halfway decent. I don't even know what this shit is about.
Everybody I've talked to that's seen it said that they liked it.
Really?
Yeah. Like even guys that don't like chick flicks are kind of like, you know what? I really kind of like this movie. It was smart.
Well, so I might go see this tomorrow. I might go see it, and I might do like a real quick review on it.
You know, if you want, give me a call. I'll go ahead and I'm going to see it this week because I really want to see it. It's I'm a big fan of several of the actors in the film. I'm a big Justin Long fan. I like the girl who's playing opposite him in this film, whose name I can't recall right off the top of my head. She actually starred with him in a TV show called Ed. Years ago, and they played geeks opposite one another.
I don't even know who any of these other guys are except for Good Will Hunting. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about.
Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Yeah, that's the only guy I recognize. I'm like, I don't even know these other folks.
You know who Justin Long is?
Oh, Justin Long. Yeah,
the Mac guy.
Yeah, no, I know Justin Long.
I'm
You're
a
right
PC, and I'm a douche.
Yeah, everybody knows Justin Long. Yeah, but I'll check it out tomorrow, man. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this movie, so forget about it. Whatever. Anyway, that's top 5. Let's go on and move on. Shit. So I Just got back from the New York Comic Con.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about that.
And
really,
no, it was just some little convention nobody knows anything
it's
about.
not even a convention, really. It's just a couple people standing around going,
Oh,
is
yeah.
Corey Coleman here yet?
Oh yeah, and I finally made my debut and the party started. No, New York Comic Con is I didn't know anything about it. It's my second time going. It's actually getting big, and last year they had a lot of people come in, and this year they brought in some things that you were able to see that you mentioned a while back.
Yeah, I heard they played the Watchmen footage.
They played 20 minutes of the Watchmen.
I saw.
Watchmen. They played 20 minutes of Watchmen, and then they showed 45 minutes of Up,
Yep.
Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Man, first of all, let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
All these people who are talking shit about Watchmen, I can't speak for the rest of the movie because I only saw 20 minutes. But I would tell you what I saw was pretty fucking impressive, man.
It looks good. It looks like Watchmen. Whether it's actually going to be Watchmen, how much is going to get cut out, because they're fucking with the ending. And I'm really curious to see what they do with that. But yeah, no, seeing that footage definitely makes you take a pause and go, I think he's on the right track with this. But
Dave Gibbons, who's the artist. Okay, so for people who haven't read Watchmen, Watchmen is a graphic novel. When did that come out? 85? Something like that?
yeah.
Yeah, and written by
Alan Moore.
famous comic book writer Alan Moore. He might have written some novels. I don't know. I know his comic book work.
No,
though.
his comic book work.
Yeah, and probably one of the most literary comic book writers we have out there. Deep shit he's always writing for comics. And then we have Dave Gibbons, who's the artist for it. Now, he didn't color the thing, but he's an artist. But he drew and inked the whole thing, and he was the one that showed up, because Alan Moore is crazy. You know that, right?
Oh, he's real crazy.
There's
a movie on the new release wall at my video store called The Brilliant Mind of Alan Moore. It's got a picture of him on the front. The minute you see a picture of him, you freak the fuck out. It's like, oh my God, he touches children.
Oh, you know,
and he has crazy eyes.
No, look up pictures of Alan Moore. This motherfucker, he claims to be a wizard, and he actually lives in a castle somewhere.
He worships a god that he pretty much invented.
And yeah, some little snake figure. I mean, look up the picture of the man, and you're gonna see that he's crazy. He's got like some long Jerry curl looking hair. He's got a beard. He looks like he's out of his fucking mind.
And he's got crazy eyes.
And
that's
the
biggest thing. He's got crazy eyes.
He looks like he should be selling pixie sticks on the side of the road somewhere. But
Hi, I'm Alan Moore. I wrote Watchmen. You should buy a pixie stick.
You want some pixie
It's
sticks?
$1.
But man, okay, so he doesn't want anything, and I don't blame him, because Hollywood has taken some of his work and just ruined it. If anybody who's ever read League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and seen the movie, that movie's terrible. That movie's horrible.
Me, that's terrible.
And I saw the movie before I read the book, and I thought the movie was terrible. I finally read the book and okay, the movie's twice as terrible now.
Yeah.
But so he just doesn't have this good relationship with Hollywood.
But he's never attached himself to any of the films in a big way.
And you know he's crazy, because he could be making money. He doesn't even want any royalties or money from these properties that people have sold. I mean, he wants nothing to do with it. Doesn't want his name attached. I mean, people know he's involved, but he says no, don't want anything from it. So Dave Gibbons, the artist, he's like, all right, motherfucker,
I'll take all this Watchmen money.
Yeah, he'll say, yeah, I'm coming out, I'm riding this shit, all right, I'm getting paid. So Dave Gibbons comes out, and he talks about the movie, and of course, everyone wants to know about the ending of Watchmen. Okay, spoiler here. If you don't want to know, tune out for a minute, just a minute. At the end of Watchmen, to bring the world together during to avoid World War III, one of the characters makes a giant squid-like creature appear in the middle of Manhattan, killing millions of people just by putting it there. Like, it sends off waves that just kills millions of people. Millions of other people are going to go crazy behind it. So the world thinks, oh shit, now we're under an alien invasion attack. So we got to pull together and forget this World War III shit and the nuclear annihilation and solve this bigger problem. Dave Gibbons says that, yes, they are changing that in the film, but that's an effect. The intent, the emotion, the meaning, the symbolism, whatever you want to call it, it's still there. And he says he would not back this up if he didn't feel like it didn't represent the story the same way.
Or they didn't sign the check.
That's the other thing I was going to say, because I was talking to Leon earlier. I was like, shit, that fool got paid, man. He sees dollar signs.
See, how many zeros are on that? All right, I'll say that, it's really about the intent. It's not about the squid. It's all about the intent of the film that you need to understand, and that the soul is all there. It's like, I hope so.
No,
I really hope so. Although, I mean, I still stand on my what I've held for quite some time. I mean, 300 looked like the comic book 300, but it wasn't the comic book 300.
Well, it looked like it, and I don't even blame. I heard a lot of people say that 300 it wasn't that strong of a story anyway.
It was incredible comic book.
I haven't. I've read half of it. I had after 300 came out.
So good.
I haven't read the whole thing, not because I got bored. I just didn't have a chance to finish it. I was at someone's house and they had it, and I read as much as I could before I had to put it down.
It's really good.
But let me just say this: what I saw in there. I mean, if you haven't read the blog that I put up about it, because I just reporting on shit that I saw there. The opening is just like in the comic. You know, if people know the comic, you know that they have this character comedian. He's sitting at home watching television.
It's a lot like how the comic was.
Yeah, no, there are certain things that they had to add. I mean, it's a movie. There's movies and film are two different things.
What they actually do different. The big difference there is that in the comic book, it cuts back and forth between the police investigating and what happens. You know, we cut back and forth in time between the comedian getting his ass whooped and the police investigating afterwards. Yeah. In the movie, the comedian gets his ass whooped, and then the police show up, and we follow the police.
Yeah, in the movie,
it's
three.
It's done in different timing. Which the only reason that stuck out for me is if you read the interview with the big San Diego Comic-Con thing from a year and a half ago, where they talked to Zack Snyder about what he was doing with Watchmen, he mentioned that scene in particular and said, you can't change it from the comic book at all. When you enter the comedian's apartment, it has to be exactly like it is in the comic, going back and forth like that, because that's the perfect way to introduce the story. And he did it differently. Now, does that really substantially change anything? Not at all. It plays out really well in the opening of the film, and the only reason I thought of it was he had specifically referenced that before and talked about how he wanted to stick to exactly the way it was storyboarded in the comic.
Well, I'm just saying even then, they re-edited things. I mean, because that's what I was going to get to. It's not following the comic panel for panel.
Where did your footage end?
When Rorschach opened the closet and saw all the weapons and the articles and everything.
Oh, really?
Like that. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
And then they showed another scene where Rorschach is in prison and he throws the hot fat grease on the guy that's going to shank him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so we've never seen Rorschach, the most popular character in Watchmen, undoubtedly.
Well, he's the main character. That's why.
But everybody, that's the character everyone loves. There's even a list. I don't know who did the list. Rolling Stone. I think Rolling Stone did the list, and Rorschach was number 17 in all-time most popular superheroes. Rolling Stone always makes shitty lists, though, so I wouldn't take that. So,
I'm going to quote Rolling Stone, and then I'm going to mention that, you know what, Rolling Stone makes the shittiest list known to me.
I'm just saying that even they recognize that.
Really, Hey Jude is the best rock song of all time?
Yeah,
fuck off.
I mean, come on, man. Yeah, they had a list of guitarists, and
shut the fuck up.
Jimi Hendrix was like number 6 or 7. I was like,
which pissed you right the fuck. Sure, the black man's got to be number 6. Can't have the black man be number 1.
No, it wasn't even having anything to do with it.
Fuck you. That's exactly what it was.
No, Jimi Hendrix is like the greatest guitarist ever. He could be black,
except
white,
for Steve Vai.
He could be get the fuck out of here, man.
Steve Vai has to add an extra string to his guitar.
Man, Jimi Hendrix,
so awesome.
Jimi Hendrix,
oh my God, is Steve Vai awesome?
Jimi Hendrix pioneered everything.
Sure,
that
and
we've
then
heard.
Steve Vai came and did it better.
Now you're fucking with me. Shit, I'm not going to even follow
I
this
absolutely
shit.
love Steve Vai, though. No, Steve Vai is incredible.
But
and if Steve Vai had come before Jimmy, it would be all about Steve Vai.
But
no,
Jimmy was
Jimmy.
first, and every sound that we hear goes back to Jimmy. I don't care if Jimmy was a fucking purple man meter from Mars. He was the greatest guitarist ever, and to put him anything below number 1 is a fucking shame. But anyway, we ain't talking about Jimmy. We're talking about Watchmen here.
Talking about Rolling Stones sucking cock.
Exactly.
That's what we're talking about.
But no, so we've seen Jackie Earle Haley only with the mask on in the movie. Jackie Earle Haley plays Rorschach. We never seen a shot of him with the mask off, and I forgot his name in the book. His real name? Do you remember his name?
No.
But they show
Rorschach.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows Rorschach, but they show him with the mask off in prison guards and everything, and that red hair. He has the bruise on his face. It looks good, man.
Well, the thing is that's what Zack Snyder has always been slavish to, is exactly how it looked.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that worries me. But the thing that worried me was that our footage was a little further than yours. Our footage ended Because right after he discovers the closet with the comedian, he ends up going and talking to Daniel, the night owl.
Yeah.
And our footage ends with Rorschach walking down the tunnel. And shot for shot, it's exactly like the comic book. I mean, I was seeing the comic in my head, seeing the film, and it really did look like it. The problem is that we're like 22 minutes in, and we're on page 12 of issue 1.
Yeah,
There's 36 pages to each issue and 12 issues. What the fuck are they cutting out?
Yeah, I don't know because the movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's going to extend or what.
Although what's great is they really did shoot all that stuff, and they decided to go Lord of the Rings on it and say, you know what, we're going to make a theatrical cut for everybody else.
Okay, there is a rumor that what they're going to do.
Not a rumor. They've said they're doing.
Okay,
it.
so what they're going to what I heard was that now in the book they see, this is why you can't do a direct translation of Watchmen, because there's all these articles and stories and clips that are strewn throughout each chapter, and one of the biggest ones is the tale of the Black Freighter. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah. And so they're releasing that story. It's like it's a comic that some kid is reading at a newsstand, and they interjected within the comic all the way through. They're going to release that on DVD.
Well,
as an animated DVD, and I think they're actually going to show live action footage from the newsstand and the kid reading.
But the other aspect to it is that they've got lots of deleted footage. They're going to have a full-on director's cut that is the full Watchmen story on the DVD.
They're going to put that in. That's what I was going to say. They're going to put Tales from the Black Freighter.
Yeah.
In the actual movie.
I'm not certain whether or not they're going to do that. I haven't heard if that's a definite. I
No,
know that
that's
the story's
what I
ending
heard
up on the DVD.
Yeah, I heard that they were going to edit it in as a definitive DVD.
That would be interesting.
That would be. I don't know if they're going to do that or not, but that's what I heard. So, I mean, look, the whole thing is shaping up to look like Watchmen. That fight scene at the beginning with the comedian and the intruder, I mean, everybody, I think everybody had a different vision of how that fight went out. So I kind of had a different way in my mind the way it went. You look at it in the movie, they're doing karate, they're doing martial arts.
You know what really sold me?
What's that?
What really got me convinced that he's getting it right is all this extra stuff that he's putting out online. And last week they had a great thing about the superhero act, the Keen Act, and You.
Oh, really?
Did you see that?
No, I haven't.
There's
seen
this
it.
great little short informational film from the 70s, is like one of those educational scare films that we watched in school.
Oh, like those propaganda movies.
Exactly, and it's all about the Keen Act and You, and has footage of the superheroes and how they became outlawed and the masks are gone and all that kind of stuff, and it's fantastic. If you have not seen it, you need to find it. It's on almost every movie website known to man. I'm sure we've got a link to it somewhere. It's this stuff he keeps putting out. That is that great version of the filler that's at the end of every issue, where you've got, here's a description of this and this and this. That's Zack Snyder's version of that, and there's so much great supplemental material. He really is creating a Watchmen universe that we can really immerse ourselves in.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with those web journals, and the last one that I saw was the article about Dr. Manhattan. The news story about Dr. Manhattan, where they had the old 1980s looking television set for a news set.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, we have a new hero and he's American. And
Yeah.
that was like, wow, that is
that
cool,
was actually
man.
in the 60s. It was a 60s story that was the 10-year anniversary.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
No, that was really great. No, it's that stuff. And this is the next one, is the one on the Keen Act and You. And it's really fantastic stuff, because that was what was so great about Watchmen. Watchmen is a universe unto itself, and by the time you get done, you feel like you've been fully immersed in this comic book universe that is so much darker than anything that anyone else had done at the time.
Yeah, it's like it's an alternate universe. I mean, Nixon has been elected 3 terms already. So
and the third term was kind of a permanent term, because he was first elected in '68, and here he is still president in '85.
yeah. So
So he's been president for 17 years.
yeah, no, I think the movie.
I'd like to thank Dr. Manhattan for all the great work he's done for our country.
Damn, when you shake your face like that, it's like your jowls.
It's the only way to do
Jeez,
Nixon right.
Your bottom lip has went from one side of the room to the next. It's like you freaking.
Is that a
out,
white
man.
joke? Are you making fun of how white I am?
No. If you look at
Nixon doesn't appreciate it, Corey.
Oh man, I'm not saying you.
He doesn't appreciate
I don't
it at
say you
all.
look like a drunken Negro face cookie or anything like that. I'm not.
Drunken Negro cookie.
Man,
Made by the Keebler Elves.
I wanted to go to New York and go to that because when I was up in New York, I know where that bakery is that made the Drunken Negro Face cookies, and I wanted to go. If you haven't heard about the Drunken Negro Face,
You know
cookies,
he's not
go
selling
look it
them
up.
anymore.
I don't care. I just want to go by there. I want to actually make a Drunken Negro Face mask and walk in there and buy some cookies and tell him to make. I'll sue him. Come in there with a lawyer.
He'll be soup Nazi.
But
Get the fuck out! No drunken Negro cookie for you. All these fucking niggers keep coming down.
Man, but I think they shut the place down. They didn't shut it down. I think he shut it down because he was getting so many death threats.
I wouldn't be surprised. It was a dumb fucking idea.
Yeah, and
It was a dumb fuck idea.
somebody
Oh my
told me
God.
that they interviewed him. He was trying to give an apology, and that phone was ringing off the hook, man, nonstop. And so I didn't get a chance to go by there because I actually think they shut the place down. But anyway, after Watchmen, man, I stayed and I saw some other stuff. They showed Wonder Woman, the whole Wonder Woman movie.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
What'd you think? I've been posting stuff about it forever.
I know. I thought it was decent. I'm the wrong person for it because I never thought Wonder Woman.
You never liked Wonder Woman?
Nah, I actually think it's kind of a dumb idea.
Wonder Woman.
I mean,
Wonder Woman. The whole world is waiting
so
for you.
DC is bringing out a straight to DVD animated Wonder Woman movie.
My friend Harry loved the shit out of it.
I liked it. It was entertaining. It's like really they described it this way, and they're right. It is not so much an adventure film as it is a romantic comedy with adventure in there. What's the pilot's name? See, I'm not even a big Wonder Woman fan.
Oh, I'm even forgetting his name right now.
There's a pilot that Wonder Woman falls in love with. Okay,
Who is voiced by Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, from Serenity.
Yeah.
And
as more people are starting to know him from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
oh yeah, he has a new TV show on ABC or something. So anyway, I don't know,
Yeah,
but he man, it's okay. Now Wonder Woman, she's an Amazon. She lives on an island of
She
women.
is Amazonian, baby.
Yes, and she lives on an island with nothing but women. So it's pretty much an island of lesbians. Okay, I don't care what you say. Ain't no way you have an
Yeah,
island with a
you
bunch
do
of women.
care. You do care what we say, but the thing is, you just want to make a lesbian joke.
No, I don't want to make a lesbian joke. You got an island full of women. Now that's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm not even making a joke here. I'm thinking there's no man around here. Either they got chambers full of vibrators that they're using all day, or they're going out with
Because
each
they
other,
couldn't just be cartoon characters who just,
See, I can't.
exist in an
I can't
alternate
look
universe.
because there's a whole lot of logic in there. I just can't. Get
I know. I
past.
feel the same way. The fact that Charlie Brown was giving it to Lucy every fucking night. I mean, oh my God.
Well, we all know that Peppermint Patty and Maggie,
yeah.
Marcy were. They were
please,
they were
sir,
lesbians.
can I lick your clam again, sir?
you know.
Stop calling me sir. Will you let me lick your clam?
She's up there always
Sure.
talking about, hey, sir, and Peppermint Patty had that little low voice. And man, yeah, they were lesbians, so I don't think I didn't notice that. So I'm looking at this island full of all these Amazon women, and I'm thinking, first of all, okay, island full of lesbians, but that's inferred. We don't have to really know anything. Then this pilot lands on the island, and it's not, whoa, shit, what the fuck? Where am I? Where did this place come from? Wait a minute, who are you guys? It's kind of like, oh, hey, hot babes, and yeah, I'm just going to go with the flow. We're going to go back to Earth. We're going to stop all these demons and gods from attacking, and I'm not going to ask why. I'm not going to act surprised. I'm just going to try and get laid and just kind of do what they tell me to do.
Was it fun?
No, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, it's good for a DVD. Bruce Timm, who has given us I think the most impressive and accurate version of Batman with Batman animated feature. He's the producer and a lead artist on that. Great artist, by the way. He's a producer on this. He came out and he said, "Hey, look, I couldn't see this being a theatrical release. It's fine for DVD. It's short, and yeah, I mean, look, he made no bones about that. It is entertaining. The animation's pretty decent." And it's fun. I mean, terrible dialogue, stupid logic, but it's fun. I mean, I won't be like a lot of these people. I think I'm gonna post the Q&A because it's just funny because a lot of people just got up and they acted like that this was fucking the best motion picture of the year. They're like, my God, this was wonderful. This is like my favorite movie this year that I've seen.
Well, now that's exactly the same words that I heard out of my buddy Harry, who loved it. He's like, dude, this is the best thing that's come out this year. I love it, the hell out of it.
No, I can't say that. I mean,
you can't.
No,
but...
I mean, look, everybody got a different opinion on things. As far as best thing to come out this year, best thing, I do not see it. But it's fun. It's like I said, straight to DVD. What are you going to ask for?
I'm looking forward to it. They should be sending it to me soon. And as soon as I get it, I'll be I'll either talk about it here or I'll write it up or something.
Yeah, no, it's fun, man. I mean, I'm gonna post a little review up of it. I mean, but
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
I
Corey
will say,
Coleman's not really into you.
no, not. I like what they did with.
You
Wonder
like the
Woman,
lasso.
though.
You
No,
really- you
the
love
man, they
the
got some
lasso.
funny scenes in there.
Don't
The
spoil
pilot.
any jokes. I'm really looking forward
No,
to it.
I mean, they got some funny lines in there. That's the thing. It really is a comedy because the guy's like, they put the lasso on him, and he's like, because the lasso of truth. They put the lasso over the pilot, and they're trying to get things out of him, like, where do you come from? What's your mission? And the last thing he says is, he's talking to Wonder Woman's
You're
mother.
about to spoil a good joke, aren't you?
No, because the way it's said is better than the movie. But the pilot looks at Wonder Woman's mother and says, "Man, your daughter has some great cans." And I'm like, and it gets a good laugh.
You just spoiled a great joke.
yeah,
Way to go, Corey.
Yeah, fuck it, man.
Spoil it for everybody.
No,
I'm not spoiling it. I'm not spoiling. Here's a great joke.
Have you seen it?
I'm not
No,
yet.
you
They
have
haven't
not.
sent
Shut
it
the
to
fuck
me.
up. Then you have. I didn't spoil anything for anybody. People like it. If you like it, you like it.
Motherfucker. You're a motherfucker.
Oh, I've heard that before,
Yes, you have.
and I've heard it sung better.
And yeah, no, your mother. I mean, she really told you.
Oh yeah, every day before I went to bed as a child. My little motherfucker, go to sleep.
Go to sleep, you little motherfucker. All right.
Go to sleep, motherfucker.
So how we running? Is it about time for some email?
No, not yet. I was going to mention the last thing that I saw that was really impressive. Oh, I saw the Futurama movie. The Futurama.
The new one?
They got a new Futurama movie. Look,
How was it?
man, I think Futurama is something that works better as a 30-minute show because I love Futurama.
I'm really digging on these DVDs. Not like I haven't been in love with any of them, but they're the perfect thing to kind of rent and zone out to and chill out and get a couple of really good jokes in, and they're allowed to really go over the top with their humor.
Yeah, and that's see, if you love Futurama, and Futurama is really that it's the college crowd, intelligent kind of humor. They put a lot of science theory in there, a lot of reference to science fiction humor.
Yeah.
Or science fiction.
So what you're saying is you don't get any of it.
No, I get it. It's just, and I like it. I just said as a movie, it's scatterbrained, man. I mean, it's
they're all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not movies as much as they're really long episodes that are probably 3 or 4 episodes put together into one.
See, the problem with that is jokes that you would laugh at in a 30-minute episode.
Yep.
They build some jokes out to be a little long, and so they don't work as well as they do when they're shorter. It's still fun though. I mean, if you like Futurama, you're gonna like it.
I like them, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Do I think people will love them? I'd say even the biggest Futurama fan will be hard pressed to love them.
No, the hardcore Futurama fans are in love with them and think they're the best things ever. Everybody else is just like, you know what? It's fun to watch.
But see, I love the episodes. I've seen Futurama.
I dig
episodes,
Futurama
yeah.
a lot too, but there's a difference between the people who really like it and the people that live it.
I've
The
seen them like 10 times over, and I'm like, I see the movies. I'm like, if they cut this down shorter, it would have been stronger. But
Yeah, no, I bet. Yeah,
finally, the thing that I saw that was the most impressive, the thing that really just had me walking out feeling really good, eager to see the final product. I mean, Watchmen is a given, and that's right around the corner. But Pixar's Up.
we already talked about that.
No. Well, you and I right now? No.
Oh, I thought
we
we
talked
already
before we
recorded that.
started recording.
Yeah.
No, it's man, because you told me about it. You came back and told me you saw that But Numathon.
Yeah.
But you saw it with a lot of storyboards and whatnot,
Yeah.
right? So they were able to finish off the animation, and so
Yeah,
we
well,
saw
this was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
that I saw it.
Yeah, so they finished. They have all the animation in there. It just needs sound mixing. You can't even tell when you hear it. And man, that is going to be amazing. You probably have already seen the trailer for it. It's the old man who makes his house fly by using 1 million balloons to carry him up. And you probably saw that scene with the little boy on the porch, and he wants to come in the house while they're in the sky, and the old man is like, "No, yeah."
Can I come in now?
No. Yeah. And let me tell you something. As you described one time before, in the first 10 minutes, they give you a life and death story. And I don't want to ruin it too much, but it is very touching. But once that's over, because I was like, Jesus, I'm going to kill myself if this is the whole movie. But after that 10 minutes,
The movie becomes so magical.
the movie's hilarious.
Yeah,
man.
but it has this 10-minute sequence at the beginning that just it's got the audience in tears. It grabs you by it starts playing your heartstrings, and the whole movie bases its emotion on that sequence. But man, is it funny! Squirrel.
Oh yeah, no, it's
Squirrel.
hilarious. And really, it is everywhere. I mean, I have to admit, it is the weirdest thing I've seen. And yet I can see it making sense in the end, because before that clip was over, this old man and this little Cub Scout or whatever kind of scout he is, they land in South America. From that point on, I'm just going to give you some quick elements here. They meet a overzealous bird that takes a liking to this kid, some prehistoric type of bird, but very intelligent, and they run into a group of dogs who communicate with their minds through their collars.
Yeah.
And they all have different personalities. You have the dumb dog, so of course he sounds kind of retarded when he's talking. You have the lackey dogs who sound pretty intelligent, but you can tell that they're not
Then
dominant.
you have Alpha.
Yeah, who's the lead dog and ferocious, but his collar's messed up, so whenever he
collar's
talks,
broken.
it squeaks. I mean, he talks in a high-pitched voice. And it's
Come on, guys, we need to go and get him.
like they ask him, the dogs are talking with their collar, and they're like, should we go and find him? And then they cut on the mean dog. He's like a German Shepherd, and he's just looking mean. You wait for him to say, I will tell you when we go. But he says, no. Everybody just starts cracking up,
hilarious.
man. Oh, man, I don't even want to ruin too much about it.
Except that you're just ruining it all.
Oh, yeah, like you haven't told me. Do you remember we did that whole podcast before?
I remember.
You went into all that detail about it.
remember.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I
awesome.
ain't ruining shit.
It is made of win.
No, it is. Man, this
Up
movie's
is going to be one of the best films of the year, as long as it can sustain it. The one thing I'm curious about is they're showing us 45 minutes, and they've said that there are other elements in the film. You never know if the film takes a left turn. Now, I hope to God it doesn't.
I'm only, from what I've seen, that movie took so many left turns, and they succeeded every turn.
Right?
they
No,
took,
I'm right there. I mean, I came. That was the one that I'm like, dude, we need to do a separate thing just on Up. And you're like, I don't know. And I'm like, no, trust me, this is the fucking movie this year. And it was the best thing we saw at Button-Umathon. It was better than the Watchmen footage. It was better than any of the feature films they showed us. The 45 minutes of Up is just so incredible.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the end.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing this. I mean, people. If I was, let me say this: if I was teaching an animation class, this movie already would be something I would say. You know what you know what your homework is tonight? Go home and watch this movie 3 times in a row, okay? Because it's amazing, the acting in this movie, the subtlety, the design of it is just is incredible. I'm speechless talking about this film because I was so taken aback by what I saw. Now I'm talking about it so much, I'm probably going to disappoint myself when I see the whole thing. So I want to pull back a little bit, but yeah, very.
Just put in the tip,
very
have a little fun,
There you go. So
see how it feels.
So let's see here. We reached the point now we can start talking about some email here.
Some she-mail.
Let's see. Let me go ahead and pull up the site right here
Pulling out your sight.
so we can tell you folks
What's what?
answer some of your questions here to let you know that we do give a shit about you.
Because we don't give a shit about you.
Not really, but we read your emails to keep you quiet. Let's see. Question for, let's say this is for tomorrow. Nice. Question for let's do. All right. This comes from O-Town 84, and he says,
Did he really call himself O-Town?
I mean, he called himself O-Town 84.
I hope to God that's because he's from Oakland and not because he really likes the gay boy band.
He's from Oregon, probably. So,
I'm from Oregon Town.
So he says, recently I was watching the great cinematic epic known as Good Burger. I know the movie was complete crap, yet I continue to watch it because it brought back great old childhood memories. My question is, what are some horrible movies you can't help but love because of childhood memories they bring back? Oh, man, I don't know about horrible movies. Can you think of a horrible movie?
Are you kidding me? My entire childhood is populated with horrible films that I still love, despite their quality.
Like what?
Krull, Battle Beyond the Stars,
That's right.
Megaforce. Oh my God, Megaforce is the crappiest film known to man.
Oh.
I howl with laughter watching it, but I love it because I grew up watching it. Oh God, there's so many. I mean, quite literally, there's now there's some that don't hold up. I've brought up as a example The Barbarians a couple of times because I loved that as a kid, and then watched it as an adult and said, "Oh shit, this is really fucking awful." But there's a number of films that you watch as a kid and you just love, and that attachment never goes away because you love the hell out of it. And I'm convinced that there are a lot of films that are kind of considered classics that kind of are that way, where other people watch it and they're like, I don't see what the big deal about this is. It's like really had to see it back then to love it. But in fact, I just ran into that this weekend with a film of yours that you love. That
What?
is awful.
What?
Dolomite.
Oh, I was about to mention that. Dolomite, the human tornado.
I watched Dolomite with a room full of people who were like, what the fuck? They couldn't. In fact, the only way to entertain themselves is they made a drinking game out of the number of times a boom drops
yeah.
into frame.
Yeah.
Because there's always a boom in the shot. They don't give a shit.
That was one of the funny things about Black Dynamite. They actually made fun of that. The boom mic comes in, and Michael J. White, he's trying his best to give some dialogue, and he keeps looking up at this boom mic that comes in. So, I've kind of gauged people with those movies. People either love them or they look at me and they're like, why are you showing me this? And especially with Disco Godfather.
Ugh.
Yeah, people, that's one of my favorite movies to watch over and over again. And some people
awful.
Yeah, people like, I don't get what you're looking at, man. Why are you doing this to yourself? I'm like, because I love it. That's why.
That scene in Dolomite where he gets out of his car and says, hey, man, I made a bet that you're actually Dolomite. Oh, man, leave me alone. No, man, it's my last $5. Come on. And he stands there for 5 minutes doing his stupid rhyming thing.
Okay, yeah. Now, you see, the first time I heard about that joke, it was a Sanctified Monkey. I heard it in House Party. And Robin, what's his name? Robin Harris, who plays a father, a deceased comedian. Everybody had great hopes for this guy because he was extremely funny. He plays kid's dad in the movie House Party. He's like, boy, you remember Dolomite? You grew up on Dolomite. You remember that thing he used to say? Way down in the jungle deep, the lion stepped on the sanctified monkey's feet, or the sanctified monkey stepped on the lion's feet. And I'm thinking, I can't wait to hear this joke. That sounds like the funniest thing. And then I finally see it in Dolomite. I'm like, that's it? That's not even a joke. That's a fucking 10-minute poem that's terrible.
Yeah.
But I love it anyway.
Yes, you do. And the boom drops into the shot while he's doing it.
Exactly.
You know what works about Dolomite, though?
What?
The fact that you get the sense that that Rudy Ray Moore really believed his own bullshit. Like Rudy Ray Moore, you look at him and Rudy Ray Moore actually thought he was making a badass movie.
Oh, he thought, not only that, but he thought he was a great comedian. He thought he was a great singer.
Yeah.
He thought he probably really knew martial arts.
And what about that great scene I say scene, but where everybody shows up at the club and it's just musical acts for like half an hour?
Oh, that's in Human Tornado.
No, that's in Dolomite.
Oh, did they do that in Dolomite too?
They do that in Dolomite too.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of like we need filler.
Yeah, they do that. Well, that's a common theme in all his movies. No matter what happens,
all you bitches are down at the karate school.
Oh yeah, that shit is hilarious. All his movies, no matter what the theme is, it comes back to he has to save his friend from a rival club down the street. His friend is a club owner, usually Queen Bee, this big black woman, and he has to save her from the rival club down the street. There's a movie, Petey Wheatstraw. He comes back from the dead to get revenge on the people that killed him, but he also has to help his friend who owns a club fight the club.
It's kind of like the black werewolf guy from who came up with the concept for oh god, what were those crappy vampire movies? Rise of the Lycans,
Underworld.
Yeah, the guy who came up with that. Like apparently he came up. He came up with this great idea, which is, all right, we got vampires and werewolves, and the werewolves used to be slaves of the vampires, and now they're at war with one another in the real world, and we're all caught in the middle. And apparently he pitched a second script called Angels and Demons, in which there were these angels and demons, and the demons apparently used to be slaves of the angels, and now they're not. Now they're at war. We're all caught in the middle, and it's kind of like, wait, that's the same fucking movie, douchebag. You're just adding in. No, it's different because there's angels and demons.
I don't think I think someone asked us this question once, but I didn't get a chance to answer because I couldn't think of anything. And it's a common question. This is from Gore, the movie guide. He says, I just want to know, what movie did you watch once and thought it was superb, but then watched it a couple of more times and then thought it wasn't that good? For me, it has to be something like Transformers, which I didn't think was great, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. But when I watched it again, it was a bore fest. I've been a member from the beginning. Yeah. This guy's been around for a while. I have to say, at one time I was really into Labyrinth. And I thought Labyrinth was like one of the greatest movies ever made. And then I watched it again. I was like, it's still fun for me. I like it, but this shit is stupid.
I love Labyrinth.
I love Labyrinth too. But
in fact, oddly enough, last night I was in a diner. I was at Austin Diner of all things, and I was having dinner. And just chilling out, eating. And this guy who's about, I don't know, he's like mid-30s, and he's there with his two daughters who are 10 and 12. And they're like haranguing him. They really want to watch Jaws. It's dad's night out, mom is sick. And he gets the girls for the night, and he's taking them out for breakfast at night, and then they're gonna watch a movie together. They really want to watch Jaws because they heard it's the scariest movie ever. And he's like, I don't know, I think it's rated PG-13 or R. And they're like, no. We read it online. It's rated PG. And at that point, they're having a conversation. I'm like, all right, I actually know.
And it
the
was
answer
rated
to this.
PG when it came out.
Yeah, and I turned around and I said, well, it is rated PG. He's like, oh, really? I said, yeah, but it's 1975 PG, which is completely, that meant parental guidance. It means they didn't think it was strong enough for R, but it would be PG-13 to R today. There's nudity, there's lots of blood and gore. And he's like, oh, well, that's out. And he's like, well, what do you girls want to watch? And I'm like, well, we've seen this. And he's like, well, what do you recommend? And I started naming a couple of the kids' films from the last year, and they're like, no, we've seen that. I'm like, well, all right. You ever see The Dark Crystal? And they're like, no, what's that? Okay, let me tell you about The Dark Crystal. They're like, have you ever seen Labyrinth? And they're like, no, what's that? All right, let me tell you about that. And by the end, they're like, oh, we're going out and we're going to rent those right now. So they apparently went out and rented. I love those films.
Oh, no. I love The Dark Crystal. I love Labyrinth. Both of them, as being older, I look at them and I'm saying the stories in both those weren't that strong.
The two examples that I always use are Ang Lee's Hulk. First time I saw Ang Lee's Hulk, I just loved the shit out of it. And it was an experience. I mean, we were actually, me and several of my friends were in the very first audience in the world to see that film. And so we were very excited. We walk in. It's all a big to-do. There's only like 20 of us in the theater. We're like, oh, my God, we're going to see the Hulk. And it was awesome. And it was great. And it's like the Hulk comes out. It's like, ah! And then afterwards, everybody, Leon was there at that screening, too. He's like, I don't know, man. He was the only one that didn't like it. I'm like, dude, you're on crack. What the hell? And so we had to talk about it. He's like, look, this is a problem, and that's a problem, that's a problem. I don't know, man. And then the movie came out, and I'm like, I'm going to see this again. And I sat there and I watched it, and everything Leon said was dead right. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah,
this movie isn't very good.
No,
and then I could never watch it again.
I hated that when it came out.
The other one was Matrix Reloaded, which we all loved when it came out.
I didn't.
You liked it a lot.
I
remember.
No, you got it. Hey, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Go ahead and tell me. But
you got it wrong. I didn't like that movie because I remember talking to Leon at one time, and I said, you like that? And he's like, I saw it the second time, and I loved it. And I was like, okay, I don't understand that.
See, I dug the shit out of it when it came out. But the thing is it had all these inconsistencies, and those inconsistencies made us believe that they were actually questions that were going to be answered in the second film. It's like, oh, well, why would they do this, and why would they do this to this and that, and why is this like this? And you're like, oh, wow, this is all going to be answered in the next film. And then none of it was answered in the next film. It's like, oh, wait, those are plot holes. Those aren't questions.
Well, I didn't like it when it came out. I mean, I didn't hate it. I still don't hate the movie. I was just like, wow, this movie it's kind of lame. I was one of the people that came out saying, what was up with that rave scene with people wearing potato sacks? I didn't get it.
Well, none of us got it.
And here's what my biggest disappointment, because I said, look, I was looking so forward to this movie. I read in Premiere Magazine at the time how they took all these critics to the studio to see the film. They shipped them up there, treated them nice, and apparently all these critics got brainwashed, and they said, wow, this is one of the most incredible things I've seen. That chase scene on the freeway at the end is amazing. And then I see the movie, and I'm like, this really isn't as good as the first film.
Well, I remember that was back in the days when we were doing the show, and there were 5 of us in the show, and everyone else went nuts over it. I remember.
I don't think everybody else.
No, we did, because I remember me and Cyrus were kind of going back and forth over who loved it more. And
really?
Yeah, and it was one of those things. No, I love it more. No, I love it more. No, I love it more.
I could have swore there's somebody else there, because I remember saying, well,
it might have been Michelle.
Okay, it probably was.
We had a female member way back in the day called Michelle.
Yeah, maybe it was her. I just remember somebody was like, I'm not feeling this. So,
but those are the 2 movies that I always use as examples.
I will tell you this, man.
Tell me this, man.
Spider-Man is a movie I thought, and it wasn't even I thought it was that good. I think I was just afraid to say that I don't like it that much, but I'm not a big fan of the first Spider-Man movie. I still think it's just okay.
I really liked it, but I didn't love it. Like, I walked out going, that was really good. I like the second one a lot better.
Oh, the second one's great.
But I did still really like.
But the first one, I remember coming out saying, "Yeah, this is good. Spider-Man is great. This and that is there." But now I'm looking back at it again. I'm like, you know what? Why didn't I just say I really didn't like this? I not the movie itself, but how come I hated the costume of the Green Goblin. I hated when Macy Gray came out and did that plug for her album, and I hate. What else did I not like? There was some other things in there that I just wasn't a big fan of. So yeah, I'm very critical against the first Spider-Man movie. Okay movie, entertaining, but not great. Everybody said it was, Spider-Man's finally here. It's so wonderful, and I'm like, not really, not for me at least. Anyway, we're hitting around that time, man. Where we answered 2 emails, talked about a lot of shit.
And it's time to go home.
It's time to tell people go to hell. No, it's time to tell people good night.
So, all right. Get the fuck out, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody.